Good morning, Pamela.
Good morning, Paula. It's so lovely to actually be here with you today on this special day. First of all, should we just kind of introduce ourselves?
Please, yes, after you.
Oh, so hi everybody. Thank you for listening to this conversation. So I'm Pamela Windle, and I am a certified women's health coach and hypnotherapist. And I'm really passionate about really disrupting the narrative around women's health. Um, Based on my own experience of having chronic fatigue syndrome and housebound for 5 years, and then transforming my life in terms of healing my body from a really different perspective, not woo-woo, but actual science-based, evidence-based, um, holistic, deep way to really help my body to heal when it was given the right solution. And so I'm really deeply passionate about specifically for longevity for women as they approach the perimenopause and menopause phase of life, but women's health in general.
Thank you, Pamela. I'm Paula Adams, and I'm a Brennan healing science practitioner. And I'm towards the end of a dark night of the soul, and so I'm in a transformation of really living the inner life that I. My passion is that women live from this place, and that's where exploring and living from, and bringing it out into the world. As you know, what's needed, I feel, is what's needed for us right now. And it's so good to be with you, Pamela, on this great day of Rosa Parks' birthday.
It is her birthday. And so we wanted to come together, didn't we, to kind of just honor her, the things that she did, the changes that she made for women of color in the United States, but across the world in a
Yeah.
sense. And, you know, Rose wanted we were searching for a quote, weren't we, together, which one we wanted to that really felt something to us, that meant something. And the one we settled on was standing for something or failing or falling for anything. I'll say that again. Stand for something or you will fall for anything, which is super powerful,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And just taking a moment to feel, that Rosa really stood in the face of this bus driver, and she said to this bus driver, "Why do you push us around?" And she remembered him saying, "Well, I don't know, but the law's the law and you're under arrest." And that's like, she was then prepared to stand for something because she didn't want to fall for being pushed around. And I just wondered, Pamela, have there been times when the rules haven't made sense to you, but you decided to stand for something? You really push back.
Yeah, I would say now, currently, to be honest, because whilst um, I don't do anything that's not lawful, but there are written rules, aren't they? Written laws that we don't see or hear, the society based, i.e., what a woman should look like in midlife or act like or be like. And also within the medical system, if you're a woman of a certain age, what do you expect? So they're the rules that I'm breaking and disrupting personally, myself, but also in the work that I do, the women that I work with that come into my service and I work with them clinically, but also in the workplace. I'm really passionate and I want women to really understand that actually all the information that we've been fed around how much you should eat, what your body should look like,
Yeah.
your period, your menopause, how you should relate to others is something that we've been brainwashed into believing from time. And, you know, so that is the thing that I want to disrupt and stand up against. So I don't fall for those narratives that hold us back.
Yeah, I really absolutely 100% agree with you, Pamela. And also, I just want to sprinkle in there all the tests that are made, like the seatbelt tests are based on a man's body. Or the PPE was based on a man's body. And it's just, when will we stand up and say, no more? We have to stand for something other than what's being fed to us and be this disruptor. And I really feel, um, I mean, it takes so much courage to become a leader, a disruption leader, if you like, and build a community, a local community, which I think is the only way I feel is that we can get out of here. To take the stand that Rosa took and to say, I'm not going to fall for anything now. This is it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you talk about the the medical system, even medication, seatbelts, medication, that it's all, based on the male body. The fitness industry is all based on the male body. And so we've all fallen unknowingly for something. So my question to you then, Paula, is that statement is super powerful. And as we know, it's important to have a strong belief and act on it, just like Rosa Parks did. So, what are your beliefs about disrupting the narrative around women's health and wellness, and what actions are you taking to bring about that change?
So thank you, Pamela. I really help women who are at this stage where Rosa was, and she said no, even if it's a tiny whisper inside. And I teach women to take back responsibility and come deep inside and start listening to their intuition, however that happens to be for them. To really take hold of our autonomy, our body, especially as we age, and as we disappear out of mainstream, supposedly as we grow older, really basing our life upon our heart, our intuition, our inner lives. That's my disruption to this participation that is happening in right now in our lives.
Yeah.
So based upon your helping women at this time of their lives, what's your vision for their health and wellness,
Yeah.
Pamela? What's your far vision?
And it's interesting, as you said about the community, starting with the community, and I really feel that the community, because of the internet, could be wider. It doesn't have
Yes,
to be based on where I live here locally. We've connected over LinkedIn, haven't we? And so the community is the internet, but it's also with that like-minded person as well, isn't it? It's that. So community in a broader sense. And I feel that that community in the broader sense is how we're going to snowball this new found intuition we have around women's health. And I often say to women, who are in midlife, what a time to be alive. We are alive at this moment in time to make this change, because the women that went before us, they didn't have a choice. They just soldiered on, gave up, lost themselves. Now that's not happening. So the women in this generation are here for a reason. And being part of that is just super powerful and empowering, so that the next generation, those women that are in their mid-20s, mid-30s, don't struggle when they get to their 40s and have and a view about health in a much different way around who we are as women. That menstrual cycle has been literally reduced down to you're fertile, you're not fertile.
Yeah,
That is it. And we know that that is not the true story. So young women, have our shoulders essentially to
yeah.
climb on and to amplify them and help them to be the women that they should be and can be.
That's a beautiful, beautiful picture in my mind of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And life is such a gift, isn't it? It's such a gift that we're alive right now. I really agree with you with that. It's a time. It's not easy. It's not easy by any thoughts, but it's a time that we have space, enough time, I think, in this part of our life, this midlife and further beyond,
Yeah.
um, where we can do this work.
Yeah, definitely. And together, not just
Yeah.
with the women in this age or younger women, but
Yeah.
as the world, the world is changing, hopefully, for all women. Um, so Paula, as we are approaching the lunar year, what are you ready to let go of and open to receive?
So what I've been working with on this start night of the soul is totally accepting that I don't have any control over my life. And the only way to live my life fully is to surrender to life coming towards me. And it's my reaction to what comes towards me that I have control over.
Mm.
And I find that so freeing. And so, like I can rest back into the arms of my spirit, of this higher, this bigger thing, this bigger part of me I can rest back into. And then for my ego and my personality to um, experiment with and wonder about how it's going to be when life occurs, when life turns up and asks me to participate. And so I'm letting go of that control. Not easy,
Mhm.
but it's a moment to moment service, and really accepting the reality of the present moment. Um,
Mm. How,
yeah.
just curious, how did you come about the knowing of this? But also, like, how are you then going to carry that act out? Going back to Rosa Parks, that conviction that something needs to change, then how do you carry that action out?
In a dark night of the soul, our soul actually speaks in a very loud, a very strong way. Something has to change now, and so I did. I made a huge, great change, and I've been incubating. Um, I've been in a chrysalis and listening to my inner knowing, listening to my intuition, following that, um, coming to letting go. It is a continual letting go of whatever rises up that wants to take over and control. And it's a being, like a watching my personality and ego want to react, and actually continually letting that go. And it's a lifelong action. But what happens when we do that is the joy that comes, the peace,
Mhm.
you know, I know I'm a spiritual being. I also know I'm a human being living in this world, in
Mm.
this reality. And there's a joy to that. There's a peace. There's a, like, I'm not, that I'm enough. And I think that's one thing as women we need to really, really know. really get inside, really feel completely in our bodies that we are enough, just as we are.
100%, 100%. And as you're speaking about that, there was a moment that happened to me personally this week, and my intuition spoke to me. And with that, I was very like at peace actually with an event that happened. And then, because like you said, we are human beings. And then I started to worry about the
Yeah,
situation. And then I was journaling. So for me, I find journaling really, really therapeutic and really helpful. And as I was journaling, I kind of thought, oh, well, actually, my intuition was right with this. Can I not ease back into that and allow this thing to happen in its own time, in its own way, without me being really stressed about it? So yeah.
perfect. What a perfect example. Thank you, Pamela. Yeah. Well, it's been so good sharing with you and weaving our way through a little tiny piece of what it means to be alive right now as a woman.
Yeah. And as we celebrate or honor Rosa Parks' birthday today, I guess for me, that my message to anybody that's listening and watching to this is to really have a look, what are you falling for? And that could be personally, relationships, work, or even your health, could be anything. And to do some journaling around that, because I really feel that when we do quiet ourselves down, we do have this intuition, this natural voice that comes up and speaks wisdom to you, and that wisdom is always there. We're just often too busy to listen.
100%. Slow everything down. Breathe. Let there be a bit of space for whatever wants to come and inform us, even this whisper or a loud, great. Okay, I hear you. And
Yeah.
yeah, so much gratitude towards Rosa Parks for really standing for something and not falling.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pamela.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. An absolutely wonderful conversation. And thank you, anybody that's listening.
Yes.
Take care.